are now in the verbs. So, as we look at the verbs today, first of all, to start, a verb in Swahili is called kitenzi. It's basically a doing word. So in Swahili, we have the verb, which can then be called kitenzi. Let me write. Hope you can see my main screen. So the verb is the doing word, as English call it doing word. So in Swahili, we call it kitenzi, while verbs are called vitenzi. Now, the word kitenzi comes from the word kitenzi, come from the word tender, and tender means do, and that's why English say verb is a doing word. Which means it explains action. So that's how we arrive at the verbs. And most of the time in Sweden, verbs expressions or express actions or state of being. Now they can be modified because verbs, most of the verbs must be put into context. So we have past tense. They can either be in past tense, or it can either be in present tense, or they can be in future tense. Sometimes they can be in past, present perfect tense. Now, this is based on how your teacher taught you English. With us, we call them kauli. The tenses are going in what we call kauli. So we have kauli iliyopita in past tense. Which means that has passed. This can be kauli ya sasa. What's going on now? And this can be kauli ijayo, which is what will come. While this is endelevu, which is kauli endelevu, it means continuous tense. So what happens is that let's now go to the common verbs. If you can see my side screen, I've done just a brief of some few verbs. For example, I'll read them. The first verb is end. Now we have the word ender. Ender is not even actually to go. Ender is go. So just that I have to attach to go to mean it, but let me do my side screen again somewhere else to show you that. I'm trying to move my sense screen. So we have the word, that one we want to work out. Let me delete the words in the blue. But the word ender means go. So the word ender means go. That's ender, go. Now, if you say to go, you put the kuenda. So all are assumed to be ku, two, but the two comes with the word ku. So a letter ku for example, if you put the word here ku, if you say ku, then kuenda, it means to go. But the main verb here is enda, go. Fanya will be kufanya, you put a ku. to say kufanya, which means to do. Kula, kula sometimes it can have a ku, to say kukula, but most of the time we don't have the ku. We just remain with the first ku, kula. So where we have a repetition of word starting with the ku, for example, even the word above here where we have kuja, most of the time we will not say again kukuja. We want to use the ku, which is to. So just say come, not to come, come, which is kuja. So it's not most of the time appropriate to use the word ku when there's a word or an action starting with the word ku again or k. So for example, that's why in the kuja we'll not say kukuja, we'll just say kuja. In kula, which is to eat, we'll just say kula to means to eat. We cannot most of the time say kukula, but it's appropriate and okay just to say kula. And by saying kula, it implies that you mean eat. But like in soma, we'll add kusoma, because soma means read. So when you say kusoma, it means to read or to study, but soma is read. So kusoma, it means to read. Andika would mean with the word, if you add the word ku, andika means write, then you add a ku before it, which is the two, then it become kuandika. You have the word kuandika, which means to write. So it can be done to the sentence sema, which sema means say, or you can say sema, which means to say or to speak. So sema can sometimes yes mean say, or can sometimes mean speak. But speak could also go with the word kuongea. We sometimes will say ongea. So ongea and sema will almost go with the same word to mean speak or say. Then we have penda, which means love. Penda means love, but you say kupenda, which means to love or to like. It's the same word. You can use the same penda which means like or love. But sometimes like can also go with the word happy. They will say kufurahishwa or furahishwa. But most of the time, if you use just the word penda, it both means love or like. Then cheka means love. But if you say kucheka, you means to laugh. Jifunza means learn. Then you can say kujifunza, which means to learn. These are just few examples of verbs in Swahili. But there's a lot of verbs in Swahili which we can indulge on, as I'll show you later in a link of our virtual words so far. But is there any question in regards to that chat on how the words come to be? And please try to practice some pronunciation. The first word is kuenda. Kuenda. Just try to pronounce it silently wherever you are. Kuenda. Kuenda. The next word is kuja. Kuja. You can probably read how, if you can see my video on how I balance my pronunciation in terms of the tongue and my lips movement. So I say kuja. Kuja, which means come. Kufanya. Kufanya. To do. The word is fanya. Fanya, which means do. Kula. Kula, which means eat. Soma. Soma, which means read. Then kusoma. Kusoma, which means to read or to study. Andika. Andika, which means write. Kuandika, it means to write. Sema, say or speak. Kusema, to speak or to say something, which can still go ongea, say something. Kuongea, to say. You have the word penda. Penda, love or like. Kupenda, to like or to love. Cheka, cheka, which means laugh. Kucheka, to laugh. Jifunza, which means learn. Kujifunza, which means to learn. Any question? Any question? Are you with me? Anybody can confirm if you're hearing me, if you're following what I'm saying?
Yes, we are following and we are hearing very well.
Abdullah, you have anything to say? Abdullah? You want to say something?
Actually, my kids reply and the dialect of the West African region. I am interested in classes and I am beginning to enjoy the class. So thank you very much. I'm very grateful. About you.
Okay, I can't hear you very well. Your network seems to be having issues. And some people are seeming to be dropping, but we'll go ahead. Now, I want to share a link, and I'll go to that web page where we have a lot of other pronunciations or other verbs in Swahili. We just do around 10 of them. Then I'll share the link with you here in the chat so that you can also go at your own pace. We have over 200 verbs in Swahili there. So permit me to share that screen on that online source. Now this is a link online where you can get so many Swahili verbs example. We have over 200 of them. So I'm trying to copy this link and share in the chat for you to get back to it at your own time so that you can learn. So I'll share the link once I'm done with it. But there are words that I like us to look at, for example, an extension of some of the Swahili verbs. So here we have the English verb, which means the first one is to be. Be, to be, the be is kuwa. We say kuwa, which in today in Swahili will be kukua or kuwa. Kuwa. Now, if you have to look at the other side of the sample, Swahili sample sentence, for example, the first sentence is mwaka ijayo nitakuwa. So nita, these are the prefix, but the word is kuwa. Nita, I'll go to the past tense, but then let me just first of all go to the past tense, then we'll come back to this because it links to the past, present, and future tense. So let's first of all go back to the finish with the tenses, then I'll come back to this so that we do more of this. because they are linked directly to what you are learning now. So let me go to the tenses that are combined with the Swahili word, and then we'll go back to there, what we call the conjunction. So let's first of all finish this, but I'll go back to whatever I was highlighting for us to learn more of the Swahili verbs. So what we call is verb conjunction. Verb conjunction, Swahili verbs are typically prefixed with subject pronoun, and suffix with tense markers. So this is how the conjunction for the word verb enda will appear. Enda, which means go. Now last time we learned some pronoun. For example, we say mimi means I, if you can remember. Wewe means you. Yeye means she or he. So mimi is the first person pronoun. Wewe is the second person pronoun. Then yeye is the third person pronoun. Now the plural of the first person pronoun of mimi is sisi. So we, the plural of I is we, which is the plural of the word mimi in Swahili is sisi. Now the plural of the word wewe in Swahili is ninyi. As we remember, we said last time, it can be ninyi or it can be a ni with a y to say ninyi. Any of them work out. Then the plural of the third person pronoun yeye is wao. So these are the subject pronoun. Now in the present tense we use the word na. So let me draw a chart of the tenses here, so that we want to connect the pronoun, the tense, and the verb. So in this case, our verb is enda. Now our past pronoun, our pronoun of I is mimi. Then we have wewe, then we have yeye, then we have sisi, then we have nini, then we have wow. Now the past tense is represented by na. Na is past tense. Is the present tense. So let's go first of all to past. Past is li. Li is past tense. Na is present tense. Then ta is the future tense. So we want to take our verb. Our verb is enda. Now we can say, for example, if you want to say in the past tense, you will say mimi. The ni is in connotation of the pronoun for the word mimi. So it will be mimi, me. Then the next word will be a tense, which is past tense, which will be li. Mimi, ni, li. Then you add the verb enda. Mimi, ni, li, enda. If it is in the second person pronoun, you will say wewe. Remember when I said in the first person pronoun, the pronoun that stands for the mimi will be ni. So the second person pronoun is wewe, then it will be u. So wewe u, then it will be li, the past tense. So wewe uli, enda. If it's in the third person pronoun, you say yeye. are, then you put the tense li, then enda. So you'll say mimi nilienda. This is the past tense. Which means I went. Mimi nilienda. Wewe ulienda. All these are past tense. Yeye alienda. All these are past tense. And it's the past tense because the letter li or the syllable li stand for past tense. The word ni is actually a prefix of the nini, which is the pronoun here, at first person pronoun. The word u is a representative of wewe, so it's not a must when you have the word. You can remove wewe and use the word ulienda, which means you are referring to the second person, which is a wewe. You can remove the word mimi and remove the word nilienda. It means I, the first person pronoun. You can remove the word yeye and just use the word alienda, and it will refer to the third person pronoun that they or he or she went. Alienda. So the ni, the u, and the I in this sentence represent the pronoun mimi, wewe, and yeye. So this is in the past tense. You say nilienda or mimi nilienda. Or wewe ulienda, but properly you just say ulienda. If you say ulienda, we know you are talking about wewe. Yeye alienda, or you'll say alienda in the past tense. How you use the prefix, which include the pronoun and the tenses, to make the sentence enda. Any question? Any question? Okay, let's go to the present tense now. If it is the present tense, remember the present tense is represented by na. So where we have li, here in this sentence li, we'll remove li and replace with na. So we'll say mimi ninaenda, or you just say ninaenda, or you can just say naenda. All are okay. You can say mimi ninaenda, or mimi, or ninaenda. You can just say naenda as it is in the chat here. That's correct. In the ulienda wewe, we'll replace another li with na, which is the present tense. So you say wewe unaenda, or you can just say unaenda. Means you are going. Naenda or ninaenda means I am going. Unaenda means you are going. He or she is going, which is yeye and alienda, will replace li with the word na to say yeye anaenda, which means he or she is going. He hasn't started going, but he's going. Naenda, it means I am going. The same thing. Anaenda, unaenda, ninaenda. Now, if it is to the future tense that I will be going, we'll replace the letter na in these sentences with the ta. So I will say mimi nitaenda. I can just say nitaenda, which means I'll go. In that case now it is in the future tense. It's no longer in the past tense. It's in the future tense. The same you do with the unaenda by replacing na with ta to say utaenda. The same thing you'll do with anaenda to replace it with ta to say ataenda. That is it. singular. Those are how the words or the verbs are formed, using what you call conjunction, but in this case we can call them prefix, words that come before the action. Any question up to there? Any question? Okay, let's proceed. Now I'll look at
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Okay, thank you. So let's go to I've said what we have been discussing here is in the first person pronoun, second person pronoun, and the third person pronoun in singular. Now, if you go in plural, where the word mimi is now in plural is sisi. Now, the ni will be replaced with the word tu. Now, where was I having okay, mimi here, this one which is here, mimi, in singular, it's always, because mimi is in singular, it's always replaced by the ni, pronoun ni. Wewe is always represented by the pronoun u. And yeye is always represented by the pronoun a. And in plural, the word sisi is always represented by the plural tu, the pronoun tu, while mimi is always represented by a pronoun m, which is a m, while wao is always represented by a plural wa. Now, in the sentence we were having down here, where we were having mimi end, when we change mimi from singular to plural, we will say the plural of mimi is sisi. Now, instead of saying nita, the ni, you will put the plural of nina will be two, and remain with everything else. So it will be sisi tutaenda. While wewe is plural is nyinyi. So if you say nyinyi, the plural of wewe here, you will not now retain u, but you will use m. Nyinyi is represented by the pronoun m. So nyinyi mtaenda, sisi tutaenda, tutaenda. Well, yeye is plural is wao. So wao will then be represented by the plural wa, not a, wa. So it will be wataenda. The rest of taenda would remain the same. This is in future tense, because the t, ta represent the future tense. T, mu, na wa is a representative of the pronoun in either the first person pronoun in terms of plural, second person pronoun, plural is m. Third person pronoun, its plural is wa. So in future tense, you say sisi tutaenda. While in the present tense, you say sisi tunaenda, nyinyi mnaenda, and wao wanaenda. So sisi tunaenda, nyinyi mnaenda, wao wanaenda. If it is in the past tense, it will be sisi tulienda, the li, nyinyi mlienda, and wao walienda. Any question? It's a bit complex today, but we'll have to digest it slowly. Any question?
Yeah, I think I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just getting confused when it reaches into the past tense. For example, the verb, when it is mimi
Now when
tulienda, mimi nilienda,
yes. Now
wewe ulifika. Where does
yes.
it kufika and naenda?
Now you see the word, the pronoun m, which is mimi, can be represented by a prefix ni. So the word ni here, in the before the word nilienda, the ni is actually standing in the word pronoun mimi. So it's not a must to say mimi nilienda. You can just say nilienda. So this ni is the representation of the word mimi, which means when you're talking about singular, which is mimi, its pronoun can be ni. So in this sentence, nilienda, the ni here is the representative of the mimi. Nilienda. Now the wewe, its representative pronoun is u. U.
Okay.
So if, for example, you find it now here, you see the word ni.
Yes.
This ni here, let me go back. This ni here is the pronoun in this sentence. This is a sentence. Nilienda is a sentence.
Oh, okay.
So the pronoun mimi is represented by this prefix ni. Nilienda. So mimi goes with ni, and when you go to wewe, its representative is u. The word u.
Okay.
Then when you go to yeye, the pronoun here is represented is a. So instead of saying wewe or yeye alifika, if you say alifika, you're correct. We know that when you say alifika, you're referring to yeye.
Okay.
When you say ulifika, we know you're referring to wewe. And when you say nilifika, it means you're referring to mimi, I.
Okay.
So this u, ni, u, and a are the pronouns here that represent the mimi, wewe, and yeye. Now when it gets to plural, the plural of mimi is sisi. Now its pronoun here is tu. Then yeye, which is the plural of wewe, its pronoun now will change to m. Then wao, which is the plural of yeye, the pronoun would be wa.
Okay.
But now the li will remain because the li are representatives of the tenses. So the tenses don't change. Because we're talking about past tense, whether it is a person, whether it is me is past tense, whether it is you, we are referring to a past tense. So the li here, all those li will remain the li because the li's represent the past tense. Li. This all will be past tense.
It's okay.
The verb is the word after now, the li. For example, now here, the verb would be enda in the first sentence. That is the verb go. Enda. In the second sentence, the verb is fika. Fika, which is arrive. So the last part is the verb. Now, when you go to the same, look at when now you go to the future tense, the last chart, You remember, we still retain the pronoun me, because it's a representative of the me, is the pronoun here. We will still retain the pronoun you, which is a representative of the wewe, and the pronoun a will remain a as it is. The two will remain two, these are the pronoun. The mu will remain mu, because the pronoun don't change, and the wa will remain wa. Those are the pronouns. Now the ta in this sentence is now the tenses for future. Ta. So ta. So ta will remain ta because we are all talking about the future. So it's all ta, 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 ta. Because ta is standing for the word future. So if somebody say, nitaenda, you already know that person is saying, they will go. They haven't started going, but they will go. That's why English calls it a future tense. It's an action that will happen in future. They will go. It's not happening. But when they say nili enda, it means the action is past. They went. Nili end, I went. I will go, which is nitaenda, the future tense. I went is nilienda. So the li represent the past. Now if you come to the first chart where we have the present tense, now here the present tense, they did not add the word for the first word ninaenda. Here we did not add the word ni, because it's still the same as naenda. When somebody say naenda, they silently imply the word ninaenda, but we can add ninaenda here to mean I am going, or unaenda here to mean you are going, or anaenda here to mean they are going, or he is going, he or she is going. You add the same two here to say tunaenda, which means we are going, mnaenda, which means you are going, and wanaenda, which means they are going. They are going. Then the na here is the present tense. The syllable for the present tense, the na, or the na in between here. The na, the first na, the second na, the third na.
Okay.
Is it a bit better now?
Yeah. But
Okay.
now what is the difference between wewe and yeye?
Wewe and me.
Now wewe.
Yeye na wewe.
Yeye, wewe. What is the
Now,
difference?
now wewe, I'll use, English do not have a bigger difference for the word yeye. That's why you say he or she. But I want to use in terms of position. You are describing items where they are. So for example, where I am here, I'm seated in this seat where you're seeing at my background. I'm sitting in this blue seat. So here is Mimi. It is me. Now in this seat, if you're seated at the far end of the same seat, you're the second person next to me. It is wewe.
It is wewe.
Yeah, it is wewe. So it is me, which is me, and you, which is wewe, you. Because we were in, I can see you're in the same location, but not where I'm sitting. You're in the far end, so you are the second person. That's why we say second person pronoun. So it is wewe. Then there's a third person pronoun who is not here. So for example, you are seated at this seat and you are maybe your sister, younger sister is at the far end of the seat. Then you want to refer to your mother or your brother who is not in the room. He becomes the third person.
Okay.
So in terms of position, this third person is not where you are. That's why you say yeye, or you say he or she. When you say he or she, it means you are telling the second person about the third person. So you, for example, will be telling your sister, she will be coming.
Yeah.
This she will be coming is not here. You are not talking about the third person, you see? But you are telling the second person that she will be coming, which means you are telling the next person who is next to you, that the other person will be coming. So that's how now they become yeye.
Okay.
So I'll say, yeye atakuja. Which means she will be coming. So this she is a third person. It's not the second person in the room, it's the third person. The second person in the room, for example, will tell your sister, if she's in the other side of the seat, will tell her, you stop making noise. You stop making noise. It means you're speaking to the second person directly from yourself. You stop making noise. So she's the second person to you. That's when it becomes wewe. That's how English now categorizes them as the first person pronoun, the second person pronoun, and the third person pronoun. Now the good thing with Swahili, they have the third person pronoun as the word yeye. English doesn't have that one. That's why it says she or he, to refer to the third person who is not within the vicinity of where you are talking about. Now the plural of me now is sisi, which means where I am seated here, if I am seated together with another person here, now I'm no longer alone. It's no longer I, it is we here. So it becomes sisi. So it's me, and my sister was on the other side. Now she's not in the other side. She's where I'm seated. So she's seated clearly next to me. So we are two people. We are no longer one. That's why we call it we. We means that now I'm more than one person where I'm sitting. So I'm still in the same person pronoun, like I'm still where we are sitting in the first person pronoun, but now we are more than one. We are two of us here seated together. That is why we say we, which is sisi. But now the second person pronoun, who was wewe, where she was seated there at the far corner, she's no longer alone again. Now there are two of them in that far corner. Now they become nyinyi. That's why English is saying you all, because English do not have a you. You is you. That's why English is adding the word all to mean it's more than that one person. Now there are two people, you see? But so he will call those two people in the far corner as nyinyi now. When the sister was alone, it was wewe. But now that she has somebody else where she's seated, now they become nyinyi in Kiswahili. Now that third person who was not here, Uma was telling my sister, for example, she will be coming. Now it's not her coming. Now they are coming is her and maybe her friend. Now we never say that, she will be coming. I will say they will be coming. So the yeye is no longer now one person. It's now two people, three. Now they become wow. It's no longer now yeye. It's wow. That's the plural of yeye. Wow. The plural of her coming will be they are coming. She's no longer coming. It's herself and somebody else. Now they become they. Are we clear then? Any question?
It's clear.
Thank you for that. Anybody else who have any question as well? Okay. Now, if there's no question, I know it's a bit complex, but if you just be silent a bit and understand the structure of how these words are divided into pronoun, a tense, and a verb, it will be very easy for you to make up your mind. So, for example, if I'm talking about myself, I cannot say mimi unakuja. I cannot say mimi unakuja, because u is for wewe. So it's like saying I we coming, or I we coming. You cannot say we. You cannot say I and we in the same sentence. I we coming. No, it's I am coming. Mimi nina kuja. I am coming. You are. You are. I am. You are. Wewe unakuja. That's how it is. Now, if you look at the using the verbs in the sentence down here, where we have the present tense, as I've explained. This is just an example in a sentence, but as I've explained, we'll have the present tense here. For example, mimi naenda shuleni. Me, which is mimi, I, naenda, going, I am going shuleni, to school. I am going to school. Mimi naenda shuleni. Past tense is mimi nilienda. I went to school. Mimi nilienda shuleni. And you can have other future tense, for example, mimi nitaenda shuleni. I went to school. Mimi nilienda. The first word is I am going to school, which is the present tense. Mimi naenda shuleni. I went to school is mimi nilienda shuleni. I will go to school is mimi nitaenda shuleni. If you are to speak about wewe, we'll say wewe in the present tense. Wewe unaenda, it will not be naenda, it will be unaenda shuleni. Or wewe ulienda shuleni. Or wewe utaenda shuleni. When you talk about yeye, the third person pronoun will be yeye alienda or anaenda shuleni, yeye alienda shuleni, or yeye ataenda shuleni. When I make it plural, I will say sisi tunaenda shuleni, or sisi tulienda shuleni, which is we went to school, or sisi tutaenda shuleni, which means we will go to school. If it is plural, the second person will say nyinyi mnaenda shuleni, you are going to school, or nyinyi mtaenda shuleni, you will go to school, or nyinyi mulienda shuleni, you went to school. If it is the third person pronoun, will say wao wanaenda shuleni, they are going to school. Wao walienda shuleni, they went to school. Or wao wataenda shuleni, they will go to school. Any question? And there's an assignment. That's actually an assignment that you'll have to fit. I'll draft it properly, but any question first of all? So the assignment we read for example, the following. Here is mimi ninaenda shuleni. Now I want you to fill the next, we starting with wewe. What will be the word in front there? Wewe what shuleni? I'm interested with that, so probably I'll say wewe. Okay, let me just make it simple a bit. I'll say wewe dash enda shuleni. I want you to fit the word that will come before the word enda. And then I'll go to the word, the same word will be, so have somebody you can write that, about mimi, wewe, yeye. So yeye, dash, I want you to fill that, enda shuleni. What will be before the word enda? And I think I've explained it up there. Now in the past tense, I want it also to be here. The first word will be wewe, again, dash, enda shuleni. The next one will be yeye, enda shuleni. And now here will be wewe again, enda shuleni in terms of the future tense. Alafu yeye enda shuleni. I'll put the plural aspect as well, which will be sisi again enda shuleni, nyinyi enda shuleni, and wao enda shuleni. So fit the words that come before the end, the spaces that are left there. Same will be applied here. So let me just copy it. Same will be applied here. Again, the same one will be applied up here as well. Now, that's it. Are you able to do the work? This I should come with it probably. We should have it next class. Now what I'm going to do, even down here, I want you to put now the word that goes before this word. For example, the ku. I want you to put the word to write ku. So what do you say? Just say the word, add the word ku before this sentence. But I want to save this work and send it to you via the chat so that you can be able to actually do the assignment and bring it back. That brings me to an end of this lesson. But to all members present, I'll share this in the chat and ensure that you download it and fill the words that are remaining in between. Based on, of course, you'll find the example up there because I'm sharing the whole notes. So you can get a guidance up there and use that guidance to fill these sentences or these spaces remaining. If you have questions, let's try to answer those questions in our next class when we'll be marking this. Any question? Before I close this, then send it in the chat. Any question?
Yes, hello, Mwalimu.
No. Hello,
Sorry,
sister.
I dozed off. I came from work late, but I joined late a bit. I got something like wewe and nyinyi is confusing me. For example, I can say wewe unaenda shulani. And then nyinyi, I don't know how to pronounce it. That M.
Now nyinyi is here, is mnaenda. Can you hear me, Sister Ines?
Mnaenda.
Yes, mnaenda.
So the M is like kind of silent, like that, eh?
Yeah, it comes out like that. So you have to pronounce it as like that. So you say then you say naenda. Naenda. Naenda.
Okay. Naenda.
Yes. Naenda.
Okay.
So that's what I want you to do in the assignment down here, to fit in the brackets remaining using those pronoun. Mnaenda, anaenda, unaenda. So the guidance.
Yeah, I got the exercise.
So the guidance is up here, and that can guide you on how you will fill the words before these sentences. Those dash I've put there. You will use the notes up there to guide you on how you can fit what is necessary here. Then that now becomes the assignment. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So with that, let me first of all share that document with you on the chat so that you can work on it, download it, and ensure you work on it so that we can have it in our next class when you have filled it. And that then, if you have any challenge, let's come in the next class and help you build it up. So I'm attaching the word, the assignment, the notes we've discussed, versus the assignment, the spaces remaining in the chat. So feel free to download it. I think it's now in the chat. Please download it before we end so that you can go look at it, reread it, and also it can guide you to fit in the assignments that I've put down there with the dash and the dashes remaining down there. So just fit it based on that guidance. If you have any challenge in the next class, you'll do your submission in the chat. I'll go through it and maybe guide if you have a problem in regards to responding or mastering the verbs. So there are so many verbs as well. Allow me to share the link again that I was to go through, but time is not on our side. So this link will provide you with extra verbs, and even it will show you how they have been actually done, how they have been explained, and all the things of example of other verbs in past tense, in present tense, and in future tense. All of them are covered in these over 200 verbs that are there to help you learn on how the sentences are constructed using the verbs. I've also shared that link in the chat, so please also ensure that you save that link before we end the class so that you can use it as well to learn more verbs. Any question, any concern, any comment? Because we are supposed to bring the meeting into an end. We have actually spent exactly 1 hour. Any question? If there's no any question, I'll take it back to the moderator. But please try your best to download this assignment and download this link as well so that you can learn more of the verbs in this link. There's so many. And you'll see how they are structured in the past tense, present tense, and the future tense. Yes,
Hello.
Mary? Hello, Mary?
Yeah, mine is about the song of last time. It was a nice one. So
Oh, I can't remember which one was it, but of course it will be our ending song. Let me see if I'll get another one which is more educative as well. I can't remember the other one clearly, but I'll get you another one which is more educative as well.
okay.
It was Malaika.
Oh, was it Malaika?
Yes, it was.
No, sister,
It was something about
it was not Malaika. It was Afro.
I can't.
Yeah, Malaika was the other first week.
Yes. Yes, so the other one was Afro. But now
Yeah.
I'll do another one. Let me just get another one that I can play as we get. Otherwise, have you downloaded the link? Or have you been able also to have the book?
I downloaded the other one, but the link, I don't know, I'm opening it and it's showing other things. So I need to download other things, but the Swahili verbs I have managed.
Okay, the link should not be disturbing you. Did I play Amigo or Afro?
Last time it was Aligo.
Amigo.
Amigo, yes, Amigo.
So today I should be playing you Afro.
Okay.
You can also repeat Amigo still.
Amigo
It was
was
a nice.
it
Yeah.
was a nice one. Okay, if you want Amigo, but let me check. Because of the education aspect of the Amigo, it was very educative.
Sure.
Let me check Afro. I'll play you Afro. It's still the same artist, but you enjoy the guitar, and the messages are also translated. They might not be too passionate, but there are also some good message for all songs. These are songs that were sung in 1980s. So let me just play for you Afro as well.
It's okay.
milele moyoni, nina wasiwasi nikikumbuka tulivyoachana mara ya mwisho. Uliniahidi Afro tungeonana mapema, siku zinapita vivie, mbona sikuoni mama? Afro mama toto asagena kumbuke Prince ugeukae leo kwangu, kesho kwako mama, utanikumbuka Afro toto asagena. Salimie ndugu na wazazi wako mama, popote walipo Afro. Mimi sijawa, lakini mawazo tele moyoni, nina wasiwasi nikikumbuka tulivyoachana mara ya mwisho. Uliniahidi Afro tungeonana mapema, siku zinapita vivie, mbona sikuoni mama? Afro mama toto asagena kumbuke Prince ugeukae leo kwangu, kesho kwako mama, utanikumbuka Afro. Usiniweke pembeni mama, ingawa wako wengi wazuri mami, lakini nimekuchagua wewe. Tabia zako sana, sura yako, nimeridhika kuwa na wewe. Sagana unipeleke mama nikawaone wazazi wako mama, na tisedi pia tupige mami, ukawaone baba na mama. Mengine nisiseme mama, uamuzi na kuachia wewe. Mwisho na kuombea salama Afro, mpaka siku tutaonana mami.
welcome all. To those who will remain, I'll only add one music, but welcome all, you are free to leave. I'll only add this music by Charonyi of Maroon Commandos. To those who want to leave, feel free to leave, and let's meet again next time. This song is actually from a community called Taita. They are in Kenya. They speak Swahili, but they have their own language, Taita. It's one of the Bantu languages in Kenya, but it's one of the most played song by this commando called Maroon Commandos. So it's a Taita word, but translated into English. Taita will find some of the words are close to Swahili as well, being Bantu community.
Madabida da progu wa mwasi
Let me pause it there. They say when it is too sweet, you have to end it there. So thank you very much. Let's meet next time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.